Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Taught Easy. In the last video, we have seen the introduction to the Postman and what are APIs and how to download and install the Postman. So in this video, we are starting with using the GET requests in Postman. So first of all, what is a GET request in Postman? So it is used to get the information from the server and does not have any side effects on the server. Here the side effects mean that there will not be any modification, that is updation, deletion or addition of data on the server. You will simply retrieve the information from the server. You just request from the server and server responds to the request. So a GET request has all its information inside the URL. So it is not advisable to pass any sensitive information in the URL like the password. For example, when you press search while writing anything in the search box of the google.com, you actually go for a GET request because there is no sensitive information and you are just requesting the page with search results. You notice the same search string in the URL. And when you send any GET request, you will get the response code. So in while sending a GET request, the response code that we must receive if our request is successful is 200 OK. And we will discuss some of the codes like 400 bad request, 404 not found, and 500 internal server error. All of these code and what does it mean in details in the upcoming videos. As of now, we must know that for GET request, the desired response code is 200 OK. Now, let me show you first how to send a GET request in Postman. Let's go to the Postman and I am using the URL www.google.com, and from the drop down I have selected GET. Okay, then I am clicking on send button. Now you can see we have this status code 200 OK. Okay, when you will bring your cursor here, you will get this pop-up standard response for successful HTTP request. Okay, now you can see some additional information like time and size, and here in the response there is body, cookies, headers and test results. And in the response body you can see the response in different forms: pretty, raw, preview, and there is another option, visualize. And here in the drop down you can see your response in JSON, XML, HTML, text, auto. So we'll discuss these attributes and what do they indicate in a while. Now, suppose click on this preview. So you can see here the Google Doodle. The image is not processing right now. It has not been loaded. It's okay, but you can see the search field and the Google search and I'm feeling lucky button, and you will scroll down, you can see the Google page here. So it is giving us the preview of the URL we have sent the get request. Suppose I want to search anything in this search box. So what you will do is you can simply in the params tab here you can attach your query. For example, I want to search about Java. So for the query we write Q and in the value we write Java. So you can see the URL has attached this question mark Q is equals to Java. So I'll show you when you will use google.com. Okay, so you can see here if I search Java, you can see in the URL google.com search question mark equals to Java. So this is what we are doing here. And then as I told you that here is a delete button, you can click on it and this query parameter will be deleted. Again, I am hitting on send button and I'm going to the pretty form. I'll show you what is meant by pretty here. You can see the 200 OK and the time and the size and the other related attributes. Let's discuss these response in details. So in the what is basically a response? Whenever you send a request, response is a message that is received by the server in return to the request we send. When we request something, the server acts upon the request and sends back a packet of requested information. Okay, a response depends on the request mainly. Every request has a different kind of response, and it is very important that we extract useful information from all the responses. Postman has a beautiful interface for response and it is very user friendly. We can see a lot of information in the Postman for any response without doing much effort or any, if I might say. Okay, user interface has the following information blocks: this response status and information, the response body, the response cookies, and the response header. See, this is the response code, and this is the time taken by the server to process the request and giving the response back to you. This is not the exact time, but it is a approximate time, because this time includes the additional time which Postman has taken to separate the information and process the information, like formatting it and separating the cookies and the headers. Okay, so this is the approximate time, and this is the size of the response that has been taken in the memory. And you can see here the cookies. These are the cookies used by the server, where you have sent your response. Based on this, it will give you the desired results when you visit same server next time. And these are the headers. In the headers, the additional information sent by the server has been separated in different attributes. Like here you can see the content type, like what is the type, the format of the response, like it is text or HTML, or it is XML or JSON. And you can see the date, the exact date, and the expiry time, the content length, and the server, etc. So each of these attributes have different meanings. As of now, I'm not going into very details for now, because we are just doing the major function, major use of the GET request here. So we will discuss these in detail in the upcoming videos, where we'll be needing it. So let's check these attributes. So first of all, status code, as we have already discussed. The status code tells you the status of the request. There can be a lot of mistakes in the request, and without looking at the status code, we might not always get what went wrong to our request. Sometimes there can be a typing mistake in the URL, or there can be a problem at server side. Status code help us to know what went wrong. So according to the different status code, it denotes what went wrong and how can we correct our request. Status code 200 OK means that the request was correct and the desired response has been sent to the client, which is used in GET request. Now, if we change the URL and press the send button, we sometimes see the 400 bad requests. This means the request was not correct, hence the bad request response we received from the server. I'll show you through an example. Here I have one demo URL which I can use in Postman, and I'll show you. See, this is the URL. The way this URL is created with the GET request, that it has to be sent with a query parameter, but I am sending this URL incomplete. So I am clicking on the send button, and you can see it has given us the status code 400 bad request. The request cannot be fulfilled due to the bad syntax. It means that the request that you have sent has not the correct syntax. And the response, there is response message as well. Here it says query is a required parameter, that we have to send the query here as well. Okay. So in a separate video, we will discuss all these status codes with the associated methods in detail. For the GET request, the status code that we must receive is 200 OK. Okay. Then other than that, we have this time, as I had already shown you in Postman. Give me a minute. Yeah, you can see here time. I have already told you that what is the meaning of time and size here. You can see here the time is the duration which the response took after we send the request and received the response, but this is not the actual time, because this includes the time which Postman take after getting the response in formatting and dividing the headers and cookies separately. So it is the additional work by Postman can be roughly considered as the web service time, that is the time taken by the server to generate the response, plus the constant processing time by Postman. Okay. Now the size is just the response size when it will be saved inside the memory. The response size is the size of complete response and headers and cookies and everything that has been sent along with the response. Here as well, the response size which is displayed is in the Postman is the approximate size and not the exact size, because it contains the size of all these extra information which is sent by Postman, like headers and cookies, etc. Then in the body we had seen that the response can be displayed in pretty, raw, and preview format. So what does it mean? Pretty is a prettier version of the content being sent. It is basically the way of making the response in more readable form. It has some color formatting, and different color has different meanings. And raw means the response you will see in the plain view, without making any formatting or editing. And in the preview you can see the preview of the web page. Okay, see here in the body pretty, you can see these different attributes, and the value have different colors, red and blue. In this case, when you will click on raw, you will get it in simple plain view, and if you will click on preview, you will get the preview, like it will be visible on a web page. If you'll click on this URL and enter it in your browser, you will see this only. Okay, and then here there is a drop down where you can select the format in which you want to see your response, like JSON, XML, HTML, text, and auto. Okay, and then the next thing that we have to discuss is format type. I have already told you. Then there are options to check the cookies and copy the responses. From this button you can copy the response. From this section you can see the cookies. Let's see this request here. Google, when you made a Google, you have visited the google.com, it has saved one of the cookie information that are the files which have been downloaded on your on the client's machine. Okay, based on this it will process your request in your next visit. Okay, and then cookies are the small files which are related to the servers. Once you visit a website for the first time, the cookie is downloaded on the client machine. These cookies contain information which can be used by the same website when you visit again. Okay, and the next information that is important is these headers. Inside these headers you will see this content type, date, server, cookies expiry time. As the name suggests, these different attributes have meanings accordingly. I'll show you the header tab in Postman. When you will go here, you can see there. So there are multiple attributes which you can see here. Okay, and this is all about the GET request and the analysis of response body. In the next video we'll discuss about the create request in Postman and post method in the Postman. Please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and comment below if you have anything to ask or any feedback. Thank you so much. Bye.